Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Today we will be planting Timothy seed. Timothy is a grass crop similar to orchard grass or broom grass. We bale it dry and we feed it to our heifers and dry cows. Any excess crop we have left over gets sold to the horse market locally. We have about 50 acres to plant today. We will be planting with a no-till drill, 15-foot no-till drill, and we'll be using the grass seed box up there, since Timothy seed is really a small seed and too small for the big box. So now we are out in the field and we have to set the drill up. We have to put seed in it, set the rate, and set the depth that we want the seed planted. So first thing, we'll get at it and fill the drill up with the seed. So the first thing we have to do is get the seed into the drill, and we use the small grass seed box up front here. This is for your small seed. This drill also has a large seed box for your small grains, your wheat, barley, triticale, soybeans for larger seed. If we were to put the grass seed in this box, it would just run right through it. So we will use the front grass seed box. As you can see, the Timothy seed is a super fine seed, almost like the size of sand. We will start out putting 2 bags in. It'll be 100 pounds of seed, so we can sow a few acres and check to make sure we are close to our rate that we want. So after we have the seed in, the second thing we want to do is find our rate and set the drill to our desired pounds per acre. So I want to sow 15 pounds to the acre of Timothy seed. So we go here to the chart and we go across. We look for Timothy seed there on the far left, and we scroll over and we get close as we can to 15 pounds. And it says it needs to be set around 8. So we will go around in front of the drill here and set on the number 8 setting. And hopefully it'll be around 15 pounds, but we will double check once we sow a couple acres. So now that we have the seed in it, we'll come around to the front of the drill, and this lever here controls how much or how little seed you put on for the grass seed box. So we want to set on 8, so we have to loosen the screw up and move it over to 8. So these settings are just guidelines to go by. Seed size varies from year to year, and if your drill has wear parts on it and stuff like that, so it's just a starting point. Once we get in the field, we'll sow a couple acres and see where we're at pound wise and figure up to see if we're close to our desired rate. So the last thing we have to do before we get started is to set the depth that we want the seed planted at. So Timothy seed is a small seed, so we don't want to bury it too far, probably no more than a 1/2 inch, 3/8 to a 1/2 inch in the ground. So that requires setting the drill at a pretty shallow depth. So I've gone and set all these openers to the second notch for each row. Each row has to be set independently. So you just pull this up and you adjust it. So from previous years, I pretty much know where to set it at for a starting point, but it can vary depending on ground conditions, whether it's dry, You might have to set the disc in a little deeper, since the ground would be harder, as opposed to the ground being a little on the soft side, which it is now. We just got a good rain about a week ago, so the ground conditions are optimal. So we'll see how this goes, but this is a good starting point to start out at. So once I have the drill filled up with seed and set closely as I think it should be, I like to go out in the middle of the field and do a little test plot to see how we are coming with seed depth and making sure everything is working on the drill properly. So now we'll get out of the tractor and check for seed depth. The seed is very small, so it's hard to see. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but it appears to be pretty close to the depth we want it at. So now that we have the drill set to the correct depth, we will go ahead and start on our first field. So we are no-tilling this Timothy into soybean stubble. The soybeans were just harvested last week, so it leaves a nice, clean, mellow, good seed bed to plant the Timothy in. So let's get started. First thing, we set the drill down. And then this drill has row markers, as you can see. That's for the next time we come around. We can just center the drill up right over top that row marker, and it will line up with the previous pass. I usually like to run about 4.5 to 5.5 mile an hour planting. Just depends on field conditions and field size. So now that we made our first round, we'll start our second round, and we line up the center of the tractor right over top the last row marker that made in the field. So we planted not quite 6 acres so far, and we've used up 100 pounds, not quite 100 pounds. So we are very close to 15 pounds to the acre. That's our target rate for seeding rate. So I think we're good to go on that, and we'll get at it, fill up some more seed, the drill, and finish this field. So this is the last pass on this field and we're done, and we'll move on to the next field now. So this is our next field. It's a 14-acre field. It's also going into Timothy. And we'll get started here shortly. This is the last pass for this field and we will be done. That is a wrap for Timothy planting. Thanks for watching and peace out.